And welcome everybody to Gix 911. I'm your host, Gix, and welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about how to file a VA claim. Okay, I know there's a lot of questions out there. I myself had a lot of questions when I initially went to file my first VA claim. There were a lot of questions I had. There were a lot of unopened or questions that I could not get answers to. It was very difficult. It was very frustrating. Going to the VA can be a daunting task. It could be a very frustrating time. So I'm going to make it a bit easier for a lot of you out there that are currently trying to file a claim with the VA and finding it very frustrating, finding it very tiring. And that goes a lot with everybody that goes to the VA. I hear stories all the time of how frustrated people are, of how they don't want to deal with the VA anymore, how they want to go to a private doctor and so forth. And let me tell you right now, if you are going to file a claim, you need to go through the VA, okay? All your medical issues that you sustain while in the military needs to go through the VA. If you keep that in mind, you'll have a lot easier time when you go to file your claim. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you do go outside and visit an outside doctor, you want to make sure that that information is also transferred over to the VA release of information. So you definitely want to get a copy of those records, and you definitely want to send those records over to the VA, the Veterans Affairs Office at whatever medical VA institution that you're currently going to for your disabilities. Okay, so starting out, I'm going to give you guys a few of the tools that I use to get properly compensated once I was out of the military. Okay, and let me just tell you, I've done it years out. I've been out since in the early mid 2000s, so it's been quite a bit of time. But believe it or not, people, you can get compensated at any time. Okay, don't think that you've been out for 5 years or 6 years or 10 years that it's too late. It's never too late to seek compensation. As long as you have your military record, you are eligible. If there are things in there that you have sustained while in service, you can be eligible for compensation. So keep that in the back of your mind. Don't just quit and say that, oh, I can't get compensated, because that is not true. Okay, so first off, starting, and this is going to be for everyone, anybody that has served in the U.S. military that is a veteran, has and can have access to the Ebenefits website. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't really understand it or don't have access to it. And if you are a veteran and you are seeking any kind of disabilities from the VA or the military, you definitely need to have one. It is a necessity, okay? It is a requirement. And it's going to make your life a lot easier when you go through the process of filing that claim. It's going to make your life a lot easier when you're keeping up with what the doctors are saying about your disabilities and so forth. Because I'm going to tell you this, you guys, believe it or not all the doctors are there for you. Okay. The VA can be a very, very scary place for a lot of people. Again, it could be very frustrating. It could take a lot of your time. I know there's a lot of people out there that are currently working, and they're scheduling these appointments at working hours. So a lot of people get discouraged from going. But just remember, in order to get compensated, you must go to your VA medical appointment. So put that as your priority. I know work is a priority. I know everybody has to feed their families and so forth, but make sure you put that as a priority. Okay. Make sure you put that as a priority to go to those appointments when you are scheduled to go to those appointments. Okay. So anyway, again, you want to set up an Ebenefits account, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. And what you're going to want to do is you want to go over to the, you want to type in Ebenefits. You can go to your Google search and type in Ebenefits, and the link will pop up. And here's the link right here. Okay. I can actually back out of it because I was in it earlier, and I'm just going to show you guys exactly how it looks. Okay. So you're going to go to Ebenefits. Okay. https://www.ebenefits.va.gov. Okay. That's what you're going to go to. And this is the page that's going to pop up. Okay. Now, if you do not have any benefits account, it is very easy to set one up. Again, as long as you are a veteran in the United States military, you will be able to set up an Ebenefits account. So just take that into consideration and remember that. Okay. And if you do forget it, you can always come back to the video and for refresher. So basically what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and hit and register. Okay, you want to go ahead and hit register here. And it's, like I said, it's got an abundance of information. So before doing anything else, just go ahead and hit the register button. And this is the page that you're going to be presented with. Okay, so this is the DSN login registration page. It's going to have a list of different selections here. You can select, I have a common access card with accessible card reader. If you are currently in the military or, planning on getting out, I would definitely recommend that you do get it set up. Makes things a lot easier so that when you get out, you already have it. And from there, you can continue to log into that account. What you're going to want to do is you're going to look at all 3 selections, because it's going to ask you 3 of these selections. You're going to make a selection on one of them, okay? Most likely, the majority of people are going to make this selection here. You're going to have none of the above conditions apply. However, at least one of the following conditions is true. So, of course, one of these 4 is going to be true. Okay, and once you select that, you're going to go ahead and hit continue. Okay, and here's where you're going to put in all your information. I'm just going to use this for an example. Let's put John. Okay, Doe, and let's put let's make up a range here, and 1997, and let's just put a social security number. You could put there, just to give you guys a general idea of what it's going to be asking. You hit submit, and it's going to go through. And once it goes through, of course, you're going to give it error, personal information, and it does not match your system. So if you put the wrong information here, if you put the wrong social security number, it's not going to show up. So just make sure that you put the right social security number in there, of course, your own, the veterans, and your name, first name, last name, and the date of birth. And then from there, you'll be able to continue on with the registration process. Now, if you're having some issues setting that up, you can also find it in your DEERS. If the problem persists, you can contact this number here. So there's numbers here that you can contact. You can actually contact this number here, and they can assist you in either setting it up or retrieving your account if you do not know the information or you forgot the password. So let's go ahead and cancel and get out of that. And once we get out of that, of course, it's going to bring us back to this page. Now, there's going to be a lot of consent and disclaimers here. Don't worry about this. This is just for security reasons. So in order to actually set up account, okay, here you hit register. You can either do the register initially when you go to the benefits page, or if you're at this page, you're going to have to hit that little box, and then you can go to need an account and go along that process. Okay, so definitely, again, you want to make sure that you set up an Ebenefits account. Most likely, and let me just go here real quick. Okay, go back to the Ebenefits page here. Again, you can hit register. Okay, and what you're going to want to have is you're going to want to have a premium account. Now, as you can see here by this P here, once you log in, you will see that you will either have a premium account or not a premium account. Okay, and in order to have a premium account, you have to have a disability. So just keep that in the back of your mind. In order to have a premium account, you must have a disability, and that's going to give you access to all this information here. Okay, it's going to give you access to your disability compensation. It's going to give you access to your dependents, your compensation claim status, and so forth. So once you sign up for an Ebenefits account, it's determined on whether or not you have a disability. You'll be able to see this information here. So definitely, for anybody that is looking at getting compensation, this is definitely the first route to take if you're already outside the military and you're wanting to seek compensation. Okay, so what you can also do here, and I would recommend it for everybody. It's a very timely process. Going to the doctor is not fun. Going to the VA definitely isn't fun. It's very time consuming again. And there's a lot that goes on. So you definitely want to make sure that you understand that. Okay. And I'm here to make it easier for everyone. What you're going to want to do once you establish any benefits account. Okay. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to establish getting a representative for your VA claim. Okay. Now, what I would recommend everybody doing is going to this website here, benefits.va.gov. Okay. And you can type it in here. You'll see it up here. And once you get to that website, you'll be brought to a page that says accredited representatives. Okay. And this is nationwide. Okay. These are VSO offices, regional offices, benefit offices nationwide. Okay. So from there, you're going to select what state you're in. Okay. And then, of course, it has some city information here. So let's go to the Oakland Regional Benefits Office here, and I'll show you an example of it. And here are your veteran service organizations. These are what you would call representatives. And here's the phone number and also the room number. So it's an extensive amount of information. And a representative, what they're going to do is they're going to help you with your claim. Okay. And that is exactly what you want. You want to have a representative assist you in seeking your claim. Okay. So if you have any hearing loss, if you have any issues with your back, if you have any issues with your eyesight, anything that you have sustained while in service can be compensated for. Okay. You just have to go through the proper procedures and the proper measures. Okay. And again, making sure that you go to your VA appointments, because going to your VA appointments is going to build up a record. Okay. It's going to build up a, what's the word I'm trying to find? Evidence. Okay. Evidence. Remember that, people. Evidence is what is going to make the process go through a lot quicker. If you have all the evidence and you show that you sustained this injury on the date, time, that also helps a lot as well. So getting back to the veteran service organizations, here are some of the organizations that you can choose from. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Disabled American Veterans because that's who represents me. Okay. And what you're going to want to do when you select a representative is you want to go to their page. And then from there, you're going to want to go to about that organization. So here, let me go ahead and click on about DAV. And it's going to give me the mission statement, year in view. It's going to give me a lot of information. But what you want to read is you want to read the little page here, A Legacy of Service, Hope for the Future. And DAV is who I went with. And DAV is a nonprofit charity that provides a lifetime of support for veterans of all generations and their families, helping more than 1 million veterans in positive, life-changing ways each year. Annually, the organization provides more than 600,000 rides to veterans attending medical appointments and assists veterans with well over 200,000 benefit claims. Okay, look at that. Okay, now that's what you want. Okay, you want an organization that knows the ins and outs, that knows the VA form numbers, that is up to date with all the regulations that you will need to file your claim. Okay. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's a lot for one person to fight the battle on their own. Okay. And of course, when you get out, you are totally, there's not information out there that's going to be given to you. When you get out the military, when you PCS from the military, you're not going to be given a packet to show you how to file a claim. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. Okay. And these here, okay, and the Ebenefits Account and finding a representative are the start. Okay, this is the start, and it's going to make your life a heck of a lot easier when you go to file your claim. Okay, and let me back out of it and get back over here. So you have the Disabled American Veterans, you have the AMVETS. Okay, they're another organization, and of course you want to go to About Us and read that. So they're another organization that can assist you with your claim. They have a crisis line. There's a lot of information out there, people. And what you need to do is you need to tap into that information. And I know there's a lot of people, a lot of veterans out there that don't know this. So I'm just giving you this information because this is what I had to do. I had to tap into the network. I had to ask other veterans on how to file a claim. I had to ask other veterans on what I needed to do, how I needed to go about the process. And it took a very long time. It took years. And I'm compiling a lot of this information now from what I learned from other veterans into this one video. Okay. So AMVETS will do the same thing as the Disabled American Veterans. Okay. So I would tab this on your browser and make sure that you have this information, and also read through some of the information they have here. Okay. They have a lot of different things. They have things on transition from the military. They have compensation. Okay. And they have drop downs, types of compensation, types of claims, claim processes. So people, this is very important. Okay. Not only reading through this thing is going to help you tremendously. It's going to help you understand how this VA operates, what they're looking for. Okay. And this is going to help you get through the fields in a lot easier way. Okay. You definitely want to make sure that you understand all of these things. Okay. They have things on home loans. Okay. I don't want to get too far off on the tangent, but find an accredited representative in your state. Okay. And all the information is here nationwide. So start there. Okay. The next thing is go to your VA appointments. Okay. Again, go to all of your VA appointments. It is very important that you keep those appointments. And if you cannot make that appointment, reschedule it. Okay. Missing appointments doesn't look good. Okay. Missing appointments shows the VA that you don't have a problem. Okay. Missing appointments and no evidence shows that, maybe that this isn't a problem for you. And if you do not go to those VA appointments, then you're not going to have evidence for your claim. Okay. And they're going to keep denying you and denying you and denying you. So people, find a representative. Okay. Once you get your representative, if you do not have your medical records, you can get them. Okay. It's called a SF-180. Okay. And I'll go to the search. And like I said, people, Google is the internet is a very powerful tool. And if you use it correctly, you can get the information that you need. So let's Google SF-180 request for military records. Okay. And that's going to pop up. Okay. So here's the information here. How do I request for military records? Okay. Mail or fax request pertaining to military records, standard form SF-180 to the National Personal Records Center and our NPRC. They have over 70 million records. So you can also write a letter to the NPRC. You can visit the NPRC in person. And you can also contact your state or county veterans agency to request for those medical records. Okay. And here they are. Request your military service records, including your DD-214. Again, here's the information here for those requests. And the website here is va.gov, records, get military service records. So if you do not have your records, or you're trying to find your records, or you don't have all your records on file or in your immediate possession, this is the way to go about doing it. Okay. This is the way to go about doing it. And you can also, what I did when I requested for my military records, I contacted my senator for the state that I'm in. Okay. And I had it expedited. Okay. I had those records expedited, because what happens a lot of the times when you request for the military records, it gets put into a pile. Okay. And then of course there's a lot of other people out there requesting for the records. So it could be a month, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5 months before you even get those records. So if you have it expedited by contacting your senator, and the senator, find out what senator for your state, the state that you're in. Okay. Find out the senator, and you can call their office and find out what form you need to request your military medical records, and they'll provide you with that information. So information is key, people. Information is key when you're going through this process. Okay. Information is key when you're going through this process. So again, I'm going to beat a dead horse. Establish an Ebenefits account. Okay. And that's going to give you the ability to see exactly what is going on with your information, what doctors are seeing you. It's also going to give you the ability to see exactly what the doctors are saying about you. So in my case, I had a doctor that was not being very fair, I would say. I don't want to say anything derogatory, but this individual was not doing what they were supposed to do. They were not diagnosing me with the symptoms and conditions that I had. So in other words, they were bouncing around the problem. Okay. And that to me was a problem, because it was holding up my claim. So what I did when this individual wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing, and I'll explain that later, or actually I'll explain it now, is I went to patient advocacy. Okay. And every VA medical institution has a patient advocacy office. And if you are not getting the care that you are supposed to be getting from the VA as a veteran, you have all the right to go to a patient advocate. Okay. And what they're going to do is they're going to hear you out. Okay. And they're going to give you a form for you to fill out. Okay. And you're going to fill that form out, and you're going to tell them why you're going to tell them the issue that you're having with your current doctor. And also you can get rid of that doctor. Okay. You don't have to have that doctor. If you feel that your medical needs are not being met, if you feel that your medical needs are being looked at as not as severe as you think they are, okay, and maybe the doctor may not think they're as severe, you can change your medical provider. You can change them. Okay. Here's Here's your rights and responsibilities of VA patients and residents of community living centers. Rights and responsibilities of family members of VA patients and residents. So there's a lot of information here, people, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you read through this information and understand it, okay? I'm giving you the information. You just have to read it. You don't necessarily have to search for the information because I'm already giving it to you. So just take that in mind and read it, okay? Read all the things that are going on. Read the wellness programs, okay? You have My Healthy Vet, which is another tool that you can use to track your medications, to send emails to your doctors. Okay, it's a separate website from Ebenefits, okay? But it has all the information that you need on yourself, has everything, about you on that website as well. Once you have an Ebenefits account, you will then have access to your My Healthy Vet account, okay? And that way you can keep track of all your blood work, all your prescriptions, and so forth. So definitely read through the site so that you have a greater understanding of exactly what you need to do once you exit the military, okay? And of course, to get your records, if you do not have it on file, is an SF-180. And for all the military service members that are currently in, I would highly, highly, highly recommend and advise that you make a copy of your medical records before you turn them in. Again, make a copy of your medical records before turning them in, because once you turn them in, you will never see them again. You'll see them again, but something may fall out of the folder. Okay, they may be putting it away with the other 70 million, and somebody may be having a bad day at that moment and drop your folder on the ground, or your file, or your medical file on the ground, and a paper can fly out and fly under a desk. Okay, and it could be a very important factor or a very important piece of paper that can potentially get you your disability, your claim. So make a copy of your medical record once you have it in hand. Make a copy. Go to Kinko's, go to FedEx, or wherever you can go to make a copy. But I advise you to make a copy. It is very, very critical that you do that, okay? Because you don't want to run into situations where you are now requesting for your medical records. You're trying to find this issue that you had. It's not in your file, and that's a very daunting and depressing situation to be in, okay? A little bit more information here on when you're setting up your Ebenefits account. There are different types of military ID cards for people that are in and for people that are out. And you can find that information on militarybenefits.info. And it's going to just give you, a little bit of a synopsis of exactly what each card is. Here, military ID card types based on eligibility. Here's a reserve card, and reserve cards are normally green. And of course, it has all the affiliations, your pay grade, expiration date, and so forth. Retired military ID cards are blue, okay? And this is for all retired members, okay, that are entitled to pay, members on the temporary disability retired list, and so forth. So their ID cards are going to be blue, okay, and that's going to be DD Form 2 that you're going to get this information on. The color red is for reserve retired. Retired members of the Reserve and National Guard under the age of 60 will get a red ID card, okay? And as you can see from the picture here, it's not a CAT card, so it doesn't have that little chip on it. So once you get out, this is the type of card that you're going to get according to whether or not you retired from the active duty, reserves, and so forth. So the tan one, okay, and that's a DD Form 1173, is for dependents of 100% disabled American veterans, active duty service member, former members in receipt of retired pay, Medal of Honor recipients, reserve component service members on active duty for the more than 30 days, retirees, ship officers, and crewmen. So this is basically for all and every service member and all the services or the military services or units or whatever you want to call it. And this is the type of card that they get. The DD Form 1173-1 is for Guard and Reserve family members, and that's the color red. So it gives you a lot of different types of cards and what they're used for. So again, this is how it's going to typically look, and whether or not you're retired or disabled or so forth, that's the color that you're going to get. So another very, very good website to go to so you have an understanding of the type of ID card that you will get once you exit the service, okay? And again, there's your DD 214, your military ID cards. Here's where you could request for your medical records. I would definitely make a copy before you exit the service. Here's a patient advocate web link here under the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. And this is going to help you in the event that you have a disagreement with a doctor, or you may feel that the doctor that you are seeing is not currently handling your medical issues. Okay. And again, you can go to your patient advocacy office in any VA military medical facility to speak with a person in the patient advocate office, and let them know what your concerns are. If you are having issues with a doctor, if you want to change that doctor, if you want to go to a different team, this is where you would do it. And again, here's your eBenefits website here. So the other thing that I want to go over quickly here, and I'm going to be going over an abundance of things. I would definitely like people to comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be going over an abundance of different things that you can do, different programs out there for veterans and their families. They have the Wounded Warriors program that is a very good program for military members and their families of veterans that have like PTSD, that are injured on, while in active duty, and so forth. So there's a lot of different things or programs out there that I'm going to be going into detail on outside of this video here on how to file a claim. Now, the last part that I want to talk about when you're filing a claim, okay, let's go ahead and go to Google again, and let's type in the 38 CFC, okay? And that's going to come up here. So let me just explain this really quick, okay? Now, the 38 CFC is what the military, okay, not the Army, not the Navy, Air Force, Marines, it's what all services use when you're going through the VA. This is what the VA uses for rating you and giving you your disability. So it is important that you have an understanding of that, okay? It is important that you know what the 38 CFR is, okay? And let me go ahead and pull that up. Let me go ahead and do that here. And again, here is the 38 CFR book, See Schedules for Ratings and Disability. Of course, there's another law firm here, the law.cornell.edu. That's a very, very informative website. They have a lot of pertinent information on there. They actually break down the 38 CFR handbook into something that you can actually read and understand. But let's go to the 38 CFR books to see exactly what it is, okay? And here it is. Okay, so basically, this is what they're going to be. This is what the scheduler or the rater is going to be using when they are looking at your disability. Okay, and as you can see, there are a lot of different sections. Okay, a lot of different sections. Okay, and here are the headers for each section. Okay, essentials of evaluating your essentials of evaluative rating, resolution of reasonable doubt, evaluation of evidence, higher of 2 evaluation. So this is going to give you a very, very detailed description of exactly what the VA is going to be looking for. Okay. And here's your subcategories or your subparts, your disability ratings. And this is for the muscular skeletal system. Okay. And it's going to tell you what exactly, what it entails. Here's for functional loss, and this is for your bones or your skeleton. History of injury, complete medical examination of injury cases. It's going to have the bones. It's going to have the joints. It's going to have evaluation of muscle disabilities, painful motion. It's going to have everything. So what you're going to want to do, you can of course click on it, and then let me see if I can open it up here. Okay. And it doesn't really have anything on there. But what I typically like to do, let me go ahead and close that out. What I typically like to do, of course, if you're on your computer there, you can double click on it. And all these are in Word document. So once you click on it, it'll give you a detailed explanation of what it is. All right. And then on this site as well, on the benefits.va.gov site, you have different resources here, Board of Veterans Appeals. But mainly what you want to focus on is exactly the subparts, okay, the sections that are telling you about the different parts of the body, the organs of special sense, okay, impairment of auditory, your ears, acuity, infectious disease, immune disorder, and nutritional deficiencies, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, the digestive system, okay, gynecology, okay, the skin, the endocrine system. So it's going to go over everything. And this is what the VA uses to rate you. So if you don't have an understanding of exactly what your disabilities are and the effect they have on you, you will not be properly rated. Okay. So let's go back and let's go to the law.cornell, and I'm going to show you this site here. And again, here it is, you guys. Here is the 38 CFR Chapter 1 broken down in even more detailed explanation. And here you don't have to necessarily pull up the Word documents, or you don't have to download them to your computer. You can actually click on them and it will tell you exactly what each one is and what they consist of. Okay. Let's go down and let's find one on, let's see. All right. I'm just trying to find the medical. Here's the medical part 17. And it tells you all about the protection of patient rights. You click on it and it gives you, see, it gives you all the details and everything that you need to know on there. Okay. Informed consent and advanced care planning. And it tells you a written statement made by a patient. Okay. So it gives you a lot of information here. It helps you understand the claim process. And I'm actually trying to find some of the medical portions of this that give you details on a particular disability that you may be filing for. Okay. And let's get to, let's see. Looking for one right now. And this is very, it's a lot of information, but trust me, once you go over this and you have an understanding of it, it'll make a lot more sense. Okay. And here's on filing claims. Okay. It'll tell you a claimant for payment of reimbursement or reimbursement under this must be the entity of the furnished. Okay. So it'll tell you on when you file a claim, how to go about doing it. Okay. And this is the Cornell Law School. Okay, it has a lot of information again. I'm looking for more on the medical aspects of it. Okay. And like I said, you could type this in your search and it's going to give you all this information. Let's go back to the search. All right. And here's another one here. It's just different parts. And then the bones. Let's see. Okay, so you want to read on this. So it just tells you what it is. Let me go back and double check here, because there was one. Let's say you could put the 38 CFR, and let's say you want to find out about your musculoskeletal. Okay. And what you can do now is you can actually pull it up here. And there it is. Okay. This is exactly what I know a lot of people don't know about. Okay. And once you look through the 38 CFR, you'll see exactly the conditions or of how they schedule you on the rating. And then if you type that in, here's the keyword. You type in 38 CFR, and then you type in musculoskeletal. It'll bring up that page, and then it'll give you all the information here and how they rate it. Okay. This is information that is so very important. It took me a long time to find this information out. But once you find it out, then you know exactly how to describe your symptoms to the doctor. Okay. Typically, we don't have a way of like telling the doctor, like, okay, I've been experiencing this 3 times a week or 5 times a week. You know, they're going to ask you and they're going to mark it in your record. And there's already a template for them to mark if you don't answer the question correctly. So you can technically, almost certainly, you know, kill your chances at getting a rating by not knowing exactly how to answer these questions properly. Okay. And here's the rating here, 100%. And this is the musculoskeletal system. And this is for Okay, and it tells you exactly the number and what it's for. And then of the pelvis, vertebrae are extending into major joints or with multiple localization or with long history of, intractability and debility, anemia, and all that stuff. So it tells you how to get what you're going to 100% rating is. It gives you a 60% rating. Frequent episodes with constitutional symptoms. It gives you a 30% rating with definitive, blah, 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 blah. I can't say all these medical terms. And it tells you the 20% rating. And then it breaks it down to you. A rating of 10% as an exception to the amputation rule. So it gives you a detailed log of exactly what each percentage is and how you would get that percentage. Okay. Very, very, very important. Okay. And it tells you the codes of each one. Okay. It tells you the bone. Okay. And how you can get 100% and what it entails. So this goes over a very detailed log of exactly how they rate you. Okay. So a lot of information. Let me go back to the search. And this is what I typed in the search to find that. Okay. And then it'll pull up the law of Cornell. And you want to go to the law of Cornell. They have a lot of information on that. And it's going to give you that information and exactly how they rated the percentage and everything. So that's pretty much it. I don't want to drag this video out, but this is how you would properly, once you get out the military, how you go to seek compensation for your injuries or your disabilities. Okay. First thing you want to do, again, I don't want to stress this too much, is set up an Ebenefits account or register for one if you don't have one. Once you set up your Ebenefits account, you want to get an accredited representative from a VSO regional benefits office, and you can find that information here on benefits.va.gov. And I'll provide a lot of this information in the link below so that you can have somewhat of a table of contents to go through so that you know the steps that you must take. Beforehand, okay, you want to make a copy of your medical records before you exit the service so that you have all the information that you need on hand, okay? And if you're going to, and you will also want to attend all your VA medical appointments, okay? Go to the VA if you have any issues that you sustained from while you were serving and see a doctor, okay? And then once you see a doctor, once you're assigned a doctor, they're going to start seeing you, and you must go to those VA appointments, okay? And if you feel that the doctor that is looking after your care is not doing an adequate job, is not seeing you and seeing the issues that you're having or properly documenting those issues, take it up with your patient advocacy office. And you can also check in your eBenefits once you get that eBenefits account set up to see exactly what that doctor is saying, and then make sure that what you're telling the doctor matches up what they're writing down. Okay. And again, if they're not doing their job, which there's a lot of people in this world that don't do the job, you have the right to go to your patient advocate office at any VA medical facility. Okay. The other one is, if you don't have your medical records, or if you didn't make a copy of your medical records, you can request those medical records by filling out an SF-180. Okay. You can find that online as well. Okay. And here's the web link. Again, I will provide that information in the link below so that you can easily get that information. You can download the form and go from there. You can also go to your release of information office at any VA medical facility to also get that form or that information. Okay. Again, here are some of the different color ID cards that are given to exiting veterans or military service members. Okay. And you can get that information here on the militarybenefits.info page as well. Okay. And they're going to provide you with all the information that you need to know and the forms along with that information. Okay. And again, you must have a very good understanding of the 38 CFR schedule of ratings that the VA uses when they are compensating you for your disabilities. This is what they go over. This is what they use when they are providing compensation. Okay, they're not going to use any other rating schedule. This is what the military uses when rating a veteran. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. And that's pretty much it, you guys. I'm Gix, and tune in next time. And I have a lot more information to give you all, and a lot more details. So if there's any questions, comments, or concerns that you have, please annotate it below in the comment section. And I'll also provide my email, and you'll be able to communicate with me that way. But I more so, really appreciate if you guys leave your comments down in the comment section, your concerns, and anything that you would like me to talk about. I can talk about whatever you want. I have a lot of information, a lot of extensive information that is going to get you where you need to be. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys. And again, remember to comment, like, subscribe to Gix 911. I'm your host, Gix. Peace, love, and harmony in 2019, y'all. Take care and have a wonderful evening.